Hey guys, today I'm going to show you, well, at least how I'm going to basically kind of refurbish these wheels that came off my trailer. My trailer is basically stored outside, so it gets hit by the snow every winter. Anyway, water basically sits on there, and anyway, the wheels have started rusting. As you can see on this one was my worst one. You see all the pitting? Yeah, there was a lot of surface rust on this one. This is the worst one. The other one's really not that bad. Anyway, I took them off. I sent them to my buddy. He's got a media blaster. So he went to town on them. Got basically all the surface rust off. In fact, I can't find any. Some of the paint didn't come off. To me, it's not a big deal. I'm not looking for perfection here. I'm just looking to basically put something on these wheels so they won't rust anymore. So basically what I'm going to do is I got the wheels back from my buddy, obviously, so I'm going to take a little sanding block and basically kind of scuff them up a little bit, make sure they're all nice and scuffed up and ready to take some paint. So first thing I'm going to do is take this block and basically scuff them up a little bit. Alright, wheels are all scuffed up. Now I'm going to do is take just a little bit of canned air, kind of spray them off a little bit, maybe spray the cardboard off a little bit, trying to get a little bit of debris. I know some of the foam from the little sanding block thing kind of came off too, so I'm just going to basically spray them off, get some of the bigger chunks, if you will, dust off of there. Then I'm going to wipe them down. So first of all, let's spray them off. Alright, wheels are all blown off with some canned air. Now basically what I'm going to do is take some Windex, some shop towels, and just wipe them down real good. Try to get as much as the dust that I missed, get them off the wheel so the primer doesn't stick to that and peel off. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to spray them off, clean them up real good, and get them ready for the paint. Alright, we've got done wiping down the wheels. I'm going to let those kind of sit for a little bit, let them dry. Make sure they're completely dry before we start putting primer on. So we're going to let those sit for a while. This would be a good time though to get your primer out. And we're going to be using some Rust-Oleum primer, the self-etching. We'll be using that. This will also be a good time to get your safety equipment ready to roll. We've got some glasses. We got a little mask respirator thing there. You don't want to be breathing in any of these fumes. They're going to be very, very bad for you. If possible, you should be doing this outside. It's rainy and cold out. That's why I'm not. But I do have an exhaust fan on my window, which I will be firing up here shortly. So we're going to let these dry. We're going to shake our paint, get that ready, get our protective equipment on, get the fan going, and then I'll be back and we'll start the priming. Alright, looks like we're ready to paint. Sorry for the muffled voice. A, I'm sick, and B, I got the respirator on. So, anyway, we got our protective equipment on. We're ready to do some painting. The primer, shook it up. And now we're just going to put a coat of primer on. One thing that I do is you can see where the valve stem goes. I put that in a position, I call it basically my 12 o'clock position. So whichever way that valve stem is, it's going to be 12 o'clock when I'm looking at the wheel. And I'll tell you why probably next video. But anyway. Also, if you've never painted before, a good tip is when you're spraying, go in a back and forth motion and basically don't overlap on the wheel, which means when you're spraying across, keep going till basically you come off the wheel and then come back. So your overlap's going to be over here, not here. That's when you're going to start getting drips and things of that nature. But like I said, I'm not trying to be professional here. I'm not a painter. I don't do this for a living. I'm not making any money off of it. I'm just trying to protect these wheels. So If I do get drips or whatever, some heaviness, I'm not too worried about it. I figure the more paint probably is the better. So anyway, we're going to put the valve stem, like I said, the hole there, our 12 o'clock position. And basically what we're going to do is go side to side. I don't know if I can do this with a camera, but I'll try to do a couple here. Alright, here you go. Okay, I'm just going to go side to side. And I don't think I can do this with the camera, so I'll be back. Alright, I basically did a pass, went down, came back up. I kind of did another one because I was trying to film and watch the camera instead of the wheel, so I was kind of all over the place on the top there. Excuse me, but so I went back down again, and that's what we got. Now you can obviously tell that there's some light spots still, whatever. This is our first coat, so we're going to be putting probably at least 3 coats on this. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and do the other one, and then I'll come back and we're going to prime the other sides. Okay, we're back to our wheels. I waited probably about actually 20-25 minutes. Whatever primer you're using or paint, just look at the can. It'll let you know how long to wait before each coat, and how long to wait till after you primer to actually put the coat of paint on. So refer to your can, whatever paint you're using, refer to that can to give you the drying times. Anyway, we waited about 20 minutes. I think it says about 15 on the back of the can, but anyway, we're back to put our second coat on. This is where, when I was telling you about that valve stem, this is going to be your reference point. So the first coat we basically sprayed toward the valve stem hole there. Now what we're going to do is basically just rotate about a quarter turn, maybe a little bit more, depending on how many coats you put. If you're putting 3 coats, I'd say about a quarter to maybe a third of the way. Anyway, basically what you're going to do the same thing this side, or this way. Basically not to overlap on the wheel, but overlap away from the wheel. That way you're getting into basically all these little nooks and crannies that you probably missed when you were spraying at the valve stem hole there. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to put another coat on, basically spraying this way. Get this wheel again, do the other wheel as well, wait another 15 minutes, and then put another third coat on. So I'm going to get this done, and we'll be back. Alright, we're back to our wheels here. Second coat, just about dry. It's been about 15 minutes. So what we're going to do is, once again, start from where the valve stem hole is. We're going to do about 2/3 of the way around. Be about, say, right here. And same thing, we're just going to spray it across, overlap outside the wheel. And that will be coat number 3, and I think that's going to be good. After that, we'll have to flip them over and do the same thing on the other side. Alright, so after 3 coats of primer, I think this is pretty good. Basically what we're going to do now is flip them over, do the same thing on the other side. So let's go ahead and flip them over here. There we go. You can kind of see the difference now. That was the side that was media blasted. Now we got a nice primered side, so it's coming along. Like I said, we're gonna basically do the same thing on this side. On the inside of the wheel, which is what you're seeing right here. Excuse me. There's no valve stem hole, but there is on the outside somewhere. Let's see if I can find it. There it is. It's right on the outside there. So basically what we're going to do is kind of put the valve stem the same way. And stick it right there. So now we know where to start. It's our starting point. Do the same thing. We'll put 3 coats on both sides of these, and then we're gonna have to let that dry real good, and they'll be ready for paint. Alright, just got done with the 3rd coat on this side. They both look pretty good. You see it's still a little wet, but both are covered now. About 3 coats primer. They're basically ready to paint. I'm probably gonna wait till tomorrow to start putting the paint on them, but for now they look pretty good, and just gonna let them dry up real good before we paint. So we will see you guys next video, and we'll be ready to do some painting. Alright, after a couple days I'm finally back to finish up these wheels. As you can see, we got the primer on them and we're ready for some paint. So what we're going to put on them is this Rust-Oleum high performance enamel. Probably going to put about 3 coats on it, and I think it said 15 minutes. I think it says on there, yeah, 15-minute fast dry. So basically I'm going to put a coat on, wait about 15-20 minutes, come back, put another one on, wait, and then hopefully 3 coats will be good. But I'm going to do basically the same thing I did with the primer, is start, find a starting point. We're going to use our little valve stem hole. Start there, once again, spray across the wheel, overlap away from the wheel, and keep going. So we're going to put a coat on going this way first, rotate about 1/3, another coat, rotate another 1/3, another coat. So we're going to do that right now, and I'll be back to show you how it looks. Alright, we just put about 3 coats. 3 coats on each wheel. On this side, you see it's still drying, but we're going to let this dry for probably about 20 minutes. We should be good to go. Flip them over, we'll do the other side. Alright, just got done with the other side, flipped them over. Now we're going to apply the paint to this side. Same thing, probably about 3 coats, and then we're going to let them dry, and that's going to be it. We're going to be done. So let's get 3 coats on here. Alright, here they are, 3 coats on each side. Just need them to dry now. I said 15 minutes, be dry to the touch. Down where I'm doing it, a little cooler, so it's going to take a little bit longer, which is fine because they're not going anywhere. So we're going to let them dry for a bit, and then I'll be back and show you what they look like before we put them on the tires. Alright, this is what we got. We got them all sprayed up, dried up. They're good to go. This one's the better one. This is the one that had the heavy pitting, as you can see. Yep, looks horrible. Looks absolutely horrendous, but you know what? It's going on my trailer. I don't care. I'm probably going to use this one as a spare anyways. So, but still, it's rust is off of it. It's protected. It should last a little bit longer, and that's all I really wanted. So now we're going to take them and get the tires put on them, and they'll be ready to go for the spring. So I'll show you what they look like after I get the tires on them. Alright, got the rims, the tires on the rims. This is what they look like. I think they came out pretty well. I got no complaints with that. Here's the other one. Here's the one that was pitted real bad. It's had a lot of rust on it, but doesn't anymore. That's probably gonna be my spare. And there's the other one. Like I said, I think they came out really well.